What's up, yo? So, so I'm sitting, brewing my tea, right? I got to thinking about something, you know? I got to thinking that somewhere in my 20s, throughout my 20s, like any young person, right, accumulated some debt, you know? Um, it just happens to be, natural in life, you know? So, what I've noticed is I'm wondering, like, I'm trying to see the financial record of these astral projections in my life right now, you know? So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of breaking it down, like thinking of my 20s, how they impulsively drove me to acquire debt for myself, right? And ever since my 20s, I've been trying to conquer my perspective of having this perception of control over my own life, you know? So I started basically disciplining myself, you know, ruling out impulse as being basically something that I could lean on to the reasoning why my financial life was providing such a record that just coincidentally enough is like for some reason expected in life. You know, it's almost like expectations. It seems to be the category that it falls under. So, in the 20s, obviously, we live up to that expectation and we accumulate debt. You know, and since my 20s, I realized this debt and in my early 30s, when I reached my 30s, I had kind of proposed to myself, all right, it's time for me to start taking care of this debt, you know? I mean, 10 years from my 20s to my 30s is enough practice, not only with these astral projections, with my own impulses, with my own comprehension, my own understanding of, what is basically my existence and how to actually possess myself in the best way so as to position myself then in society to not only find myself meeting the foundational stuff that'll help myself hold myself up and my circumstances and the situations that I find then myself creating. So in this perspective, I'm right here just kind of looking how the astral projections have played into this, and so far I'm 34 now, so it's 4 years in, the last 4 years I've kind of been doing my biggest battling, not only actually providing my truth through my own words so that I can hear it rather than having it buried inside of me, having other people calling it trauma, unsolved trauma, unresolved this, unresolved that, like all this nonsense, So I had to discover that part of myself, I had to discipline that part of myself. So I'm looking at my finances right now. I'm like realizing, all right, I'm 34. I'm no longer that 20-year-old that acquired all that debt, that, lived that impulsive life, that made those, irrational decisions, So now I've also came to understand this astral projection feed of myself, which just impulse. It's not necessarily my 20-year-old self, that's just pursuing the high of life, the next exciting thing, living on impulse. That's what the 20s were about, So obviously I tamed the drugs in that 20-year-old's life, I tamed the 20-year-old, and society helped me do it, you know. So with that being said, I mean, what was thought impossible, because most people, I mean, when they're young, they're proud and they're not willing to let go of it, For some reason, I was able to cope with having to let go of holding on to such perception, especially through my own perception, So with that being said, the manipulation became no longer possible because it depends upon yourself not understanding your pride, your own self, basically, your dark side, your shadow self, So all the parts that society juggled for you until you became aware of it and were able to juggle it for yourself, That's why they made way for you to acquire depth in your 20s, and in your 30s, you basically live trying to, see where you went wrong in your 20s, fix what you did wrong, and even recover and make up for whatever it is that there is there then to, recover for. So, I mean, here we are, 34 years old now. Now I'm just looking at the astral projection influence of my financial life, and I'm wondering how the next 10 years might possibly be perceived, especially with astral projections here being the ones that want that that are inciting that have basically shown me how they use our projection into the future or into the past as a weapon to lock the mind away from the moment or out of the moment, and thus they possess the person. They draw narratives around the person. They basically throw the person into an environment where the hive mind becomes alive to them. All of a sudden, pattern recognition becomes instead of safety protocol, it's more of a let's see what the next perspective is. Like you start expecting threats, in other words, so, and it's not you, it's somebody inside of you driving, because remember, it's an astral projection, an impulse, something that doesn't want you to realize that, I mean, these impulses are essentially what spread out from you not controlling your hunger, from not controlling your thirst, from not controlling the stimulus that you allowed to drive you, move you, and then thus bring you to arrive at some aspect of you. And also I was thinking about this. Have you guys ever realized that ooh is at the end of you? It's almost like they made that word just to blame you. It's almost like this was a big plan. Or also, why create a word just to say you? And so vague. Anybody could be a you. It's almost like not even to blame, just to say, here, carry this for now. Kind of funny, huh? Yeah, so I look forward to doing what computer analysis or essentially AI is doing right now, scanning facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, all these secret patterns basically that are like the shadow self speaking through one, You can either recognize the shadow. We call it the heart, the thing we've broken, hidden, and told nobody about, or you can tune into the mind, which is like the thing right now, noticing this dog and its impulsive input, or sound or whatever it is, and probably wants to agitate me or get me to feel agitated because for some reason, while I was listening to that sound, it was kind of like something inside of me was being bothered by it, Again, the astral projection, more impulses, just learning what I learned through learning how to manage my finances. Or deciding to manage better my finances. Right about now, I know I got to do taxes, and I didn't do them last year, I can attribute that to either the astral projections that have been conditioning, whatever life narrative around me, or I could take responsibility and say that I gave myself last year as a break, and today, or not today, but this year, I might have to take care of 2 years instead of 1, or maybe even more. I don't exactly recall, but I guess I'll figure that out. These impulses, these astral projections have been with me for some time already. I like to say since about 2019 was when my eyes began to be possessed. When my eyes all of a sudden were like, acting as if, oh my God, they've seen so much porn now that they're professionals at being impulsive. Like, I don't even know how that correlation is done. It's like, it's stupid, the way we make excuses for this nonsense, watching porn, and then your eyes get possessed, and when your eyes become possessed, I hope you can control your mind, because you don't want to think anything when your eyes are possessed, unless it's somebody that's possessing your eyes also already inside of you that can think, because if all that is just impulses, then hey, you guys are in it for who knows what, but hey, figure it out. I know I had to, and I guess the rest of the world and anyone to come is gonna have to as well, So carry on, guys. Oh, the mafia right now, La M is asking me, or the Cedar City Witch House, or whatever you guys want to be called. The masculine energy right now was like, oh, ask them why. I don't even remember what it was I was talking about. The feminine energy already erased my mind, So, nice try though, masculine. It sounded like it would have been something interesting, whatever it is you're questioning or wanting me to dive deeper into. You guys got anything else you guys want to add, masculine energy? Since the feminine just listens to y'all, everything comes to her. She's a boss, Well, hey, thanks for you guys' time. I appreciate it. We're just going to ignore them, because we can talk all the bad stuff, all the evil stuff very easily. We don't need somebody right there acting like they're agitating somebody. Dude, I'm not even here. The way you guys look at me is like I'm already dead. So everything you guys are saying literally is like you guys are wasting your breath on a dead person, Because to you guys, I don't even live in your guys' dimension. You guys are something that talks to me, reads my mind, impulses, my energy, and my spirit. I mean, I don't know how you guys want to describe it, but at least you watch and observe me enough to try to convince me, and I even support you enough to act convinced that, you have that much so-called influence. But carry on, Mr. Masculine Energy. Is there any other spell you want me to trip into? Or you want to use a feminine energy, maybe? I don't know, feminine, if you're sitting here with me right now, you want to play with your masculine energies? You guys want to get loud? I mean, you guys know the time. You guys already know the hive mind theory, how you guys are all connected to my conscience as well, So there's no secrets between us. I mean, what do you guys want to do? I mean, hey, apparently the hive mind can hear every word out of my mouth. That's what being possessed is. You're part of a hive mind, you know? I mean, again, all these are theories, theoretically speaking. That's what you guys essentially have to understand, is that everything is theoretical, because remember, you guys are here to fill me with doubt. So this isn't even happening and nothing is really going on. It's not like anyone's here recording it. Oh, wait, I am. So carry on. Feminine energy can move all at once. I mean, the masculine energy's dick's so big that I guess it moves this feminine energy. Who knows? Either that or it's just action. And we're just so caught up in the delusion or illusion of our words that here we are trying to find the truth in the things that we're saying. But it isn't about saying something truthful. It's about being present in the moment. Being able to tell the difference between my mind, my heart, the space in between it, treat it like the ether, or the space for whatever it is that you guys attempt to measure or hold to whatever degree it is that you guys. So, but essentially it's also knowing that, I mean, basically you being an astral projection, you like to sit on my chest. You like to be like in the center of my being. You're like the light. Basically, if there is like an energy body, you like to stay where the energy body is. That's what being possessed is. Your energy body showing you that it's there, and that basically it's like, it's like saying when you get angry and you flex all your body's muscles. It's like saying that you think that's being possessed. That's what they say. So think about it. All you have to do is just tense up. Snarl like a dog, get all mad and angry, and that's being possessed. That's possession. In real life, real time. Go ahead, guys. Play possessed now. Oh, yeah, I'm here alone. I forgot. I should be more realistic rather than delusional or illusional, huh? Even though it's so much fun. Uh-oh. So astral projection. You seek illusion and delusion. Masculine energy, feminine energy. I mean, the only way God can attack the humankind, is come on. How else can God reach you guys? I mean, unless He sends, what do they call them? Tormenting spirits to educate you guys. Masculine and feminine energy. That's all it is, and it's God's personal school. Well, now apparently it seems like I usually don't breathe without something readily acting like it's exiting my body, like it needs me to think about its exit, or like it needs me to have some interpretation and some train of thought about whatever impulse is basically felt through the body. Because like right now, if I align, there's masculine energy right here ready to ask me why. Why did you align? Now answer him. Now tell him this. Now tell him that. And they just carry a narrative like that, like it's a joke, basically. So I just kick back and laugh. Masculine energy. Oh, you're so funny. And then I wait for the feminine energy. The feminine energy likes to express itself in the body. And then the masculine shows up with this perception. Or if it's a feminine that's possessing us, then it's the one that's all opinionated and looks at the body and thinks gay. Like, bitch, you're a fucking female. You're feminine energy inside of me. You're not allowed to think gay. I'll slap the shit out of that bitch if I could, Like, straight up. But the masculine energy is just right here, ready, right? Masculine energy is like the force of Jedis, They'll mess with your body impulsively. If it's exterior, then it's the force of the Jedi that I call them. And whenever they do that, that's just distortion and shit, wanting to basically get you to be self-judgmental and triggered, and or basically perceptive enough to develop the interest and curiosity of seeking out an idea that you can then provide as a response. So basically, it's like they create your internal dialogue endlessly to just drive, or at least their perception. Like, remember, I mean, you're being possessed, so it's like a remote view. They see what you see, they feel what you feel, and they think what you think. So when that's the case, it's like you're just sitting here understanding that the witches are just using a remote view to basically live through you or live what you're living alongside you, while the masculine energy comes around and just fucks with us and shit. And here we are seeing how we perform or readjust ourselves to this masculine energy, apparently. you know? But that's the whole game right here. Oh yeah, I have the hive mind on multiple occasions. Um, I like to think influenced by the masculine mind to always be like, think I'm gay, you know? Like the masculine energy understands that my mind is connected to the hive mind. So the masculine energy comes around me and it tells supposedly it tells the hive mind or the witch, whatever you guys want to address it as, oh, think of them gay or turn them gay or I mean, point them in the gay direction. So whatever topic becomes something of controversy can be addressed. I mean, it's almost like saying, say I go through all the celebrities and all of a sudden I start questioning dramatic questions, whether, things may be sexually related or intelligence related or, experience related. I mean, that's essentially what their whole game is like, can you create ideas and concepts and, irritate or bother or look yourself to see yourself as being a bother to people? Because then we can make you feel like you should be afraid or you should feel reactive or you should feel judged because somebody will come around with those feelings, those ideas, those emotions. Like, it's all an act. Like the whole time, and as long as I'm consciously distracted and my mouth is running, then I'm conscious. My presence means that's what's being hacked. So my mouth can keep going. I mean, essentially, the whole time they've been holding a perspective of myself so I could present to you guys, but I'm normal. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just spirits that come around and have been convinced my acting is so good that, I could play along with them and sell you guys stories and perspectives and perceptions and essentially become a teacher, not in just the esoteric, not just in the religious, not just in the, flesh, but overall, a teacher. Because I'm living the same experience that apparently every other human being is living as well. That's their theory. Because remember, the masculine is right here talking to the hive mind. So essentially, I'm like connected to all the witches. If that's a hive mind. If it's heaven, then I'm connected with all of heaven. If it's hell, then I'm connected with all of hell. Whatever it is, the whole thing is that we're connected. And somebody wants to use that connection to an advantage. It's like me saying, I know the government watches my videos, so I know I'm connected. I know the streets listen and keep an ear down to the ground, so they hear what's happening, so I'm connected. I mean, I know the people around here in this town are probably, for the most part on the side of wealth, so I'm connected. I also know that I have energetic astral projections here that feed me narratives, that feed me experiences, that like to live my life or through me, so I'm connected. And basically, it's like I'm like an alien to my own body. I don't get to actually experience my own life. I'm here all the time, just watching what somebody is in my life living and experiencing. And perceiving, and basically seeing how they're trying to like create something that they're trying to pass off onto me. So I'm connected. And the good thing I like is that when the feminine energy leaves, all I'm left is with the masculine energy, you know? So masculine is all about chaos and destruction, you know? So I only expect that if I win this war and this witch bitch leaves, that I'm gonna be left with just the fucking masculine. And hopefully these motherfuckers don't get all sensitive and shit, you know? Because, I mean, masculine is silent, it's quiet. But these motherfuckers are so bitch made that when this bitch leaves, they're the ones that start talking. But carry on, La M, Cedar City, you know, the government, big pharma, whatever the fuck you want to be called, you know, whatever mask you need because you're too fucking much of a bitch to show us who you actually are. Carry on, masculine energy. Well, I look forward to showing you guys more of what these astral projection possessions are developing in me and my personality and my experiences, you know, and especially I'm gonna have to find a way to like secretly record myself, you know, because I've noticed that like the life and the behavior and the things that get me to these videos is not the same thing that I put on these videos, you know. It's more chaotic before I get here, you know. So essentially, that's what I like to think, you know, because I mean, at least in my mind, you know. But I'm sure in the experience as well, even though I've limited it down to just a freaking RV trailer, you know. So I mean, come on. If society isn't gonna do anything except fuel the problem, then I'll remove myself from society, you know? I've also noticed that being angry apparently is a hack, you know? I mean, most of the times, whenever I got angry, they tried to attach ideas to my anger. Like, oh, when you're angry, God's with you. Or in their case, they like to pretend they're God, so essentially it's them that they're referencing, you know? But I mean, they sell you so much delusional shit, you know? It's almost like if you fart twice, wink once, and then squeeze your nose, something magical is gonna happen, you know? And that's all the way they live. So the whole time you're like, let me try not to wink, let me try not to squeeze my nose, and whatever else, you know, was in that process, you know? And it gets ridiculous with these people, you know? It's like living being a live clown. Like we know God is real, we know the devil's real, and we obviously know how stupid people are and how, you know, I mean, the Andy Milonakis show was fucking the shit, you know? The Dave Chappelle show was the shit, you know? Fucking crackheads and all that shit, you know? But essentially, you guys are here like, what, did you guys not watch fucking MTV, BET? I mean, what fucking hole did you motherfuckers crawl from? That's what I want to know. You know? Makes you wonder, huh? And also, with all the impulse living that you guys have fed me throughout my life, you guys know how many hours of porn I've actually dedicated, you know, to watching. And I mean, little did I know that it was this deep that the astral projections were in my company, you know? The reason why I was watching it, you know, wasn't because I thought I wanted to, it was because someone convinced me to. You know, somebody drove me to. Somebody experienced it through me. You know? But this is where we're at. Initially, that's like the last string from our 20-year-old self, you know, was porn, you know? And even still, like, I still got a bag full of porn videos. I probably got like 1,000 porn videos put away right there, you know? Just sitting there. It's better that I know it. It's better I say it, you know? Yeah, I looked over one of the phones. I think I had deleted it, but either way, you know? My astral projections are here using my mind right now to have me think about what I just said. I didn't intend to, but I'm just showing you guys how they work in real time, you know, what they do. So carry on, astral projection. Show them how you chase the things I say, not just in my mind, but also in the way that I'll perceive it and think of it. I mean, I don't know. It's just the feminine, right? It's just the witches, or it's just the masculine. It's just la M, you know. I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened to the government. Oh yeah, I forgot they're the ones watching. I mean, you guys already know who we perform for, and you guys are still here performing for the government. What's up, secret organizations? I hope you guys see this, and remember, I flipped you guys off plenty of times. I remember it was like you guys' love sign of welcome. Oh, you guys don't remember how you guys made me think about all the people that used to take pictures always flipping off the camera? And then you guys put ideas in my mind as to what it is that I should associate as being reasons to why it is that they should be flipping off the camera. And thus began the processing of, oh, maybe we could turn this guy into anything we want him to become. Because if we can instill ideas, then we can definitely choose who and how he becomes. Right? I mean, and all it took was just that little bit of temptation. You give the devil an inch and he takes a mile, so they say. You know? I mean, I gave him the age of 20. You know, now I'm about 34. You know? I got about, what, 14 years, I'd say, in the bag that I've been counting playing with the devil. How about you guys? And what has your guys' devil been? Has it been money? Has it been your impulses? Has it been, wanting and having control over the drugs that you, have and use, or how you have and use, or whatever it is that you guys want to, use and abuse the mind right now to have and say or think of? Come on, let's not forget, this is all about using and abusing, seeing the use and the abuse, recognizing that hurt people, and seeing how it is that they're trying to bring hurt to my life so that I can cause hurt in other people's lives. Because I could just be quiet, living my own life, understanding my dynamics of success already are embedded and integrated into the way that I want to live my life. So once I start living, I'm going to start doing what I'm going to start doing, But for now, I apparently put my life on pause to entertain whatever dynamic it is here that we're entertaining. Me, Cedar City, witches, warlocks, governments. I mean, whoever you guys want to bring into the picture, Saddam Hussein, Ukraine, Russia. I mean, it doesn't even matter. You guys couldn't do anything to stop it because here it is, So go ahead. How is my country keeping me safe? If these voices came from Russia or Ukraine or China, what's my government doing to keep me safe? Jack shit. Watching me on the camera, fucking making fun of me, hopefully having a good chuckle, at the very least. I mean, come on. Masculine, feminine. Are you guys sure you guys don't come from Russia? Are you sure you're not Ukrainian? Are you sure you're not Al Qaeda? Because I might have to call President Trump and tell him, hey, I think I found these freaking immigrants. We need to hurry up and deport these motherfuckers because they're somewhere around here. I don't know how the fuck they got in our land either. But carry on though, guys. I mean, unless you guys want me to keep playing the crazy part. It's the government. No, it's ghosts. No, it's shadows. No, it's soul projection. Oh. Now, come on. Well, I'll leave you guys with that for now, I'll get back to my mental tormenting, or at least pretending that it's torment, I'll continue to practice these astral projection expressions and living and giving them a voice so that astral projections, since they want to be here, so they can actually be recognized as being here, and not just in the way that we tend to use and abuse their power, but a way that could be more productive, so we don't have to keep being policemen in our own lives. Woo, here I am being a cop. Hey, astral projection, I have to arrest you. Come with me. And then, all of a sudden, I'm speaking like this or talking like that or whatever it is, because, come on, that's what I'm doing, I'm a federal agent. Astral projection, you are under arrest. Come with me. Dun, 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 dun. Like, come on. I work for the Homeland Security. We come in peace. Oh! Come on, guys. Long live America, right? Thank you guys for your time. You guys have a good night.